South Jamaica, baby, they made me to be the greatest. Serving the deed of my creators, fresh off of my high haters. It's the king again, Magdalene, Chauffeur, bragging and boasting.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Dollars. Welcome back to the channel. It's another day, another dollar video. I know it's been quite a minute since I dropped the video, but if you guys didn't know, I had 3 strikes on my channel, so I couldn't upload any videos. I made a video talking about the situation on my second channel, the DollaCast. So I had 3 strikes. I couldn't upload anything because once you got 3 strikes, YouTube doesn't let you upload. So I was able to get one of those strikes removed from the channel. I'm working on getting those other 2. So I wasn't really going to do any videos until I got all of those strikes removed from the channel. But this has been a hot subject lately. Jeffrey Dahmer. Netflix got the show. I ain't gonna lie, the show's been, I don't want to say it's been good, but I've been entertained. There's been other movies and I believe shows about Jeffrey Dahmer. This ain't the first time, but they got a good actor to play him. And I didn't even recognize him at first. I had to Google him, and he's the kid that's in X-Men, Quicksilver, the X-Men movies. So they have a good actor to play the role. I've heard of Jeffrey Dahmer before, but I didn't really do the research. I really didn't know much about him. I just knew he was a serial killer. You know, I didn't know he was targeting gay guys. I didn't know he was gay himself. So, you know, just to see how he was getting away for so long is just sickening, bro. Because they could have been locked his ass up. But the cops, you know, they didn't take the residents' words. They didn't believe that, you know, they look at him, oh, he's a white guy. You know, he couldn't possibly be doing anything wrong. You know, but you can never judge a book by its cover, bro. I like the fact that this is a hot subject because if you have kids, if you have children or teenagers that you love, you need to show them this. Don't show them the show. You know, I mean, I don't want them to watch bad things, you know, but what I'm saying is teach them so they know that you can't trust everybody that you meet. You can't just go to anybody's house that you meet. Feel me? Dudes could slip something in your drink. You know, look at Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy, from what I learned, he would act like he had a broken leg and arm, and he would tell these females, can you help me take this to my car? Oh, sure. And then boom. I just want this show to raise awareness of things that could happen in this world with these type of individuals in this world. I've been watching the show. I started off by watching it. I seen the first 2 episodes. I'm like, okay, it's interesting. Then I told my mom about it. She wanted to watch it, so I watched the first 2 episodes again with her. Then I told my girl, and then she wanted to watch it, so I had to watch the first 2 episodes again with her. And it's like, yo, if you watch a show without your girl, bro, it's like you went on a dinner date without her, or you talking to another female or something. Like, I don't recommend watching any shows without your girlfriend, man. So we watching it together. We on episode 6. We haven't finished it yet. But yeah, I just want this to raise awareness for people, man. You know, there's sick people out in this world if you guys didn't know that by now. You know, and y'all should tell y'all kids, man, y'all can't trust everybody. Not everybody's good. So, yeah, without further ado, let's check this one out.
I desensitized myself to it.
Wow, he talks just like him, the actor, bro.
I don't know. I went to great lengths.
He is pure evil, but you'd never know it by looking at him. But when you hear him, that's another story. His killing field was Milwaukee, and he got away with murder for more than a decade. But how could any of this happen? For the first time ever, Nancy
negligence
Glass is here inside the world of Jeffrey Dahmer.
Bill, when I sat down opposite Jeffrey Dahmer for this interview, I wondered what he would tell me, how hard it would be to get him to discuss his horrific crimes. What I found was that he was very forthcoming. He volunteered details that may be difficult to hear. I began by asking what he wanted from the men he picked up.
I had these obsessive desires and thoughts wanting to control them, to...
try to make them his zombie.
I don't know how to put it.
Lobotomize them and shit.
Possess them permanently.
And that's why you killed them.
Right. Right. Not because I was angry with them, not because I hated them, but because I wanted to keep them with me. And
that's very interesting. He said he didn't kill them because he hated them. Usually, you know, serial killers, they might hate women, so they target women. They hate the people that they targeting. And he didn't hate these guys. It's just so weird, bro. Like, it's just weird that somebody could be like that. Like, it's not coming from a place of hate, but that makes you wonder, like, what other characteristics of a serial killer there is. Because it's like, all right, you would think a serial killer is targeting people that they hate, and this doesn't fit with that conversation.
As my obsession grew, I was saving body parts such as skulls and skeletons.
Jeffrey Dahmer is recalling his monstrous past. Almost 2 years.
I don't know how you could even say it like that and not like feel anything. Like, do you know what you just said, man? You was saving skulls and body parts like trophies. And it's just like, do you even think about what you just said, bro?
Years ago in this little apartment in Milwaukee.
Apparently they
police
destroyed that
discovered the
building
grisly
too.
Remnants of one of the most horrible crime sprees in American history. Jeffrey Dahmer, an unassuming chocolate factory worker, would eventually confess that he had seduced, murdered, and dismembered 17 young.
And I would like to say, you know, my condolences to all the family members involved with this. You know, like, my heart goes out to these people, these kids, and it's just, you know, I know it must be a touchy subject now that this is back in the limelight. They making shows about it. And there's some people that don't agree with it, but I'm like, yo, but this is history. You know, this is the truth. This really happened. Y'all can't be canceling everything, bro.
Young men. He even ate some
Everybody's
of his
so
victims' body
sensitive
parts.
nowadays, bro.
He instantly became the center of worldwide media attention. A serial killer unmasked. There were protests and press conferences in Milwaukee as people tried to understand how this could have happened in their midst. How did Jeffrey Dahmer get away with murder?
Imagine
after murder
all the
for
Jeffrey
13
Dahmers that
years?
y'all live
How
next to,
did a
y'all don't
boy
even
born
realize.
into a hardworking middle-class family turn into the worst kind of monster imaginable? In this exclusive interview, we put those questions to Jeffrey Dahmer himself. We met with him at the maximum security prison where he is serving his sentence of 999 years. For the first time, he talks about his crimes and gives us a chilling look inside.
I'm sorry. You know, I was one that never believed in like execution and, you know, death penalties. But the more and more I see innocent people dying out in these streets, getting caught up in gunfire. And, you know, we had a man that just stabbed a paramedic worker the other day for no reason, bro. An old lady. And you think like that could be a family member. That could be somebody I know and love. Like, I know, you know, as a Christian, we supposed to let God judge. But as a human, I don't know, bro. Like, you want to do all these atrocities, you got to suffer, bro. Like these people suffered. You know, not saying torture them, but maybe use them. My girl says she would have them be studied like a science experiment because they want to know, you know, what's going on in their head, what can cause this type of shit. But yeah, like, you got to serve some type of purpose to society. We got to study you, experiment on you. I don't know, bro. I'm tired of seeing these dudes get away with shit.
Inside the mind of a serial killer.
It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. When you depersonalize another person and view them as just an object for pleasure instead of a living, breathing human being, it seems to make it easier to
Kill?
do things you shouldn't do.
The reason
At least you
why
know you
Jeffrey
shouldn't
Dahmer
do it.
was able to get away with his crimes was because of just what you are seeing here. Jeffrey Dahmer is intelligent and articulate. That is what makes him so frightening. But if you listen carefully to his words throughout this interview, you realize it is a thin disguise.
You do sound, though, like the kind of person who could have said to himself, "This is wrong. I must stop."
I always knew that it was wrong, but after the first killing was not planned. I was coming back from the shopping mall back in '78.
The hitchhiker?
I had fantasies about picking up a hitchhiker and taking him back to
Another thing, all you people that be hitchhiking, that's a dub, man. Y'all better stop doing
the
that
house
shit.
and having complete control and dominance over him.
The hitchhiker's name was Stephen Hicks. He was just 18. Jeffrey Dahmer took him to his parents' house. There he strangled him with a barbell. He dismembered the body and hid it in a drain pipe. It was Jeffrey Dahmer who gave those details to the police in his confession.
No one had a clue as to what was happening for over a decade.
During that time, Jeffrey Dahmer joined the army and was sent to Germany. He was eventually discharged for a drinking problem and returned to Ohio. 9 years after Stephen Hicks' murder, the killing began.
There's a couple conspiracy theories about Jeffrey Dahmer. Some say that he was a CIA MK Ultra experiment. You know, let me know if y'all heard any type of conspiracies like that. That's interesting to me. I believe that is possible. Y'all, some of y'all gonna be like, yo, nah, you bugging. I could be bugging, bro, but there's a lot of shady things that the government has done before. MK Ultra is a real thing. Bill Clinton has apologized for these experiments. You can look it up yourself. Don't take my word for it. That's the one thing with y'all people. Y'all quick to dismiss shit, and y'all have the phone in your hand. You can easily look this shit up. All right, but not all information is valid either, because we live in the internet day where they make up a lot of shit, but this is true facts. Like, this literally happened. Bill Clinton apologized for this shit.
Again.
What happened to you?
I'm not saying that this was an MK Ultra thing, but hey,
you were able to stop.
Open up the can of worms.
Control yourself.
It just wasn't an opportunity to fully express what I wanted to do. There was just not
Be a
the
freak.
physical opportunity to do it then. And I started, when I moved to Milwaukee in '81, I started reading pornography, going to the bookstores. Eventually that led to frequenting the gay bars. And then one time I brought this young man back to the hotel room, the Ambassador Hotel.
Roofied him.
Was just planning on drugging him and spending the night with him. I had no intention of hurting him. When I woke up in the morning, he had a broken rib here, was heavily bruised. Apparently I had beaten him to death with my fists.
And you have no memory
I
of
have
it.
no memory of it. But that's what started the whole spree all over again.
Dahmer says he snuck the corpse of his victim, Stephen Toomey, out of his hotel room in a suitcase. Then he took it to his grandmother's house, where he cut up the body and put it in plastic garbage bags.
That was the one that I was kind of like, yo, how does nobody notice this man leave by himself? He came in with somebody, he left by himself with a suitcase. Like, you didn't see that at all? You know? I don't know, bro.
When you killed these men, afterwards, were you repulsed? Were you upset?
No, at the time, it was almost addictive. It was almost a surge of energy. I wouldn't have to worry about any of their needs or anything. I just had complete control of the situation.
But Jeffrey Dahmer was out of control. The urge to kill had overpowered him. As police later learned, he wasn't satisfied with his victim's death. He wanted more.
Started eating them, keeping them.
It was my way of remembering.
See, I don't know if there's any other serial killers that did shit like that. Like, freaking kill the people, take pictures of them, keep them like souvenirs, like that. I don't know if he was the first one. There's probably was others, but I think that's what takes it to the next level. They're like, damn, bro. Not only did you kill these innocent guys, you freaking chopped them up, you ate some of them, you kept them like freaking souvenirs, like little Funko Pops, bro. Like, I don't know.
Their appearance, their physical beauty. I also wanted to keep something. If I couldn't keep them there with me whole, at least I felt that I could keep
A part of them.
their skeletons. And
Hey, yo.
I even went so far as planning on setting up an altar with the
Wow.
10 different skulls and skeletons.
And
He
what
was
the
possessed by
purpose of the
a
altar
demon,
going to
bro.
As a sort of memorial a point where I could, I don't know, it's so bizarre and strange, it's hard to describe. A place where I could collect my thoughts and feed my obsession.
When the bodies were still in your apartment, there was no time when you would see them and say, this is grotesque, what have I done?
No, that was...
There were times, but the compulsive obsession with...
overpowered all that.
Overpowered any feelings of revulsion.
Overpowered
This
it.
man with a quiet, almost shy demeanor became a master manipulator who was able to lure strangers he met at gay bars to his apartment. He was even able to con the police into returning a 14-year-old boy to him.
I ain't gonna lie. That episode with the little 14-year-old kid, bro, that made me so angry, bro. Like, these police officers, I hope they lost their job after this. Even the judge that was talking to the father, like, yo, bro, what kind of job are y'all doing? This kid he don't look 18, 19. He looks like he's 14, 13, 12. And they let him go back with him, bro. And the neighbor was calling and calling all these times, different situations, and they didn't do shit. So, yes, I hope the family has been paid or something, bro. And them cops lost their job. For real.
After neighbors called 911 upset that the child was in the street naked and bleeding, Dahmer convinced the police that he and the boy were simply having a lover's quarrel.
It's a intoxicated boyfriend of another boyfriend.
How old was this child?
It wasn't a child, it was an adult.
After the police left, Jeffrey
An
Dahmer
adult?
murdered
Really?
that boy.
Really?
Iraq synthesome phone. This man says he had a near-fatal encounter with Jeffrey Dahmer.
He wanted to take some picture of my back. He hit me with a rubber hammer on my neck.
He was lucky to escape because by then the killing had become almost routine.
Before you went out to pick up a man, was there any kind of ritual you went through?
I'd go to the nightclubs, drink, watch the striptease shows.
Your future victims.
And if I didn't meet anyone at the bars, I'd go to the bath clubs and meet someone there, offer them money, and we'd go back to the apartment, have a few drinks. I'd have the sleeping pill mixture already prepared. Person would drink it, fall asleep, and
never wake
that's
up
when
again.
They would be strangled.
Watching the movie Exorcist 3 was also part of his
Wow.
ritual. It put him in the mood for murder.
I felt so hopelessly evil.
You just gotta be possessed, bro, to keep you watching The Exorcist 3? I don't know why 3 though. That shit was kind of whack. But you watching The Exorcist 3 every day? Nah, something wrong with you, bro.
And perverted that I actually derive a sort of pleasure from watching that tape.
Did you like feeling evil?
No, I didn't. But I had tried to overcome the thoughts, and it worked for a while, but eventually I gave in.
While Jeffrey Dahmer may say things today that make it seem like he understands what...
Bro, this is just so crazy how somebody could just kill and then get addicted to killing, and it's just freaky, bro. And there's always signs of them, bro. There's always signs from when you're kids. Like, if you see a child trying to burn a cat, that's a sign that kid's gonna grow up to be not a regular person, man. There's always little hints and signs, so watch your kids, bro. If you know any kids that's burning cats or doing shit to animals, that's a giveaway.
Went on in his mind, he does not. All he can do is tell you what happened, but he cannot stop whatever it is that drove him to kill in the first place.
Do you still feel those same urges? Do you still feel
Yeah.
that compulsion, that obsession?
I wish I could say that it just left completely, but
Nah.
no, there are times when I still do.
Imagine being
still
his
have,
bunkie, bro.
The old compulsions.
Imagine being in the cell with Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Dahmer
Hey, never
says
going
as
to
time
sleep.
went on, his mind became more and more warped, and yet he was clever enough to continue to elude police and lure young men to his apartment. We should warn you, The details are very graphic.
I started having these obsessive thoughts when I was about 15 and 16, and they got worse and worse.
What were your fantasies about?
They were sexual fantasies of control, power, complete dominance. They became reality.
Was there pleasure in that fantasy?
There was excitement, fear, pleasure, all mixed together.
Jeffrey Dahmer fulfilled his fantasies by murdering and dismembering 17 young men. In time, his desires became more extreme, his deeds more grotesque. Listen to him talk about the most unnatural things in the most matter-of-fact of ways. That's when you...
Most of them were people of color, too. My thing is, do y'all believe he was racist, though? Or he was just taking advantage of the situation he was in? He was in a black neighborhood, poor neighborhood, you know, a spot where he could get away with it because the cops ain't checking for these people, let's be honest. So he was able to lay under the radar for a long time. I don't want to say, I don't know if he was or not. I feel like he just took advantage of the opportunities that were presented to him. So, you know, he could have been white. If you went back with him, you know, he would have killed anybody equally. I don't think he was racist, but I know there's a lot of people that will feel like he was because he was in a black neighborhood and mostly killed black dudes.
Realize that none of it has touched him.
I was branching out. That's when the cannibalism started.
Ugh.
Eating of the heart.
Ugh.
And the arm muscle.
The arm muscle?
Was a way of making me feel...
He treated an arm like it was a chicken wing, bro.
That they were a part of me. At first it was just curiosity, and then it became compulsive. Then I tried to keep the person alive by inducing a zombie-like state.
Trying to lobotomize them? Drilling their head?
Injecting first dilute acid solution into their brain, or hot water. It never did completely work.
Could someone like you be stopped? Could you be helped?
No, I was a
lost cause.
On going with this compulsion. It was the only thing that gave me any...
Imagine if he would have never been caught, bro. He would have been doing this shit to this day. He would have kept going, bro. Basically, he's telling y'all, nah, thank God y'all stopped me, because I would have not stopped on my own. I couldn't be helped.
Any satisfaction.
He became so warped by his evil impulses that he even took a victim's head with him to work at the Ambrosia Chocolate Factory.
Whoa! I didn't get to that episode yet, bro. I already know. I'm on episode 6. I know that's coming up. That's wild. That was wild, bro. I seen the shit where he had the head in the box and his dad wanted to see the box and then he didn't want to open it. I seen that shit, but damn.
The mummified head.
Dude was crazy,
skull
for
of
real.
One of the victims in a carrying case in my locker at work.
Were you almost flaunting it?
Yes, but that's how strong the compulsion was. That's how bizarre the desire was.
And you see, it's like you get away with something and then you keep getting away with it and then it becomes so easy and it's like, yo, I need to up the notch. I'm not getting the same thrill that I was getting first. Now I got to risk my freedom. I got to do it more brazenly. That's with anything. That's like if you hustle in the streets, you get away with it one time. Oh, the cops ain't going to do nothing. Oh, they ain't watching. Then you stop hiding it. You stop doing it out in the open. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start getting sloppy.
I wanted to keep something of the person with me.
Jeffrey Dahmer exhibited some disturbing behavior early on. He began drinking heavily as a teenager, dropped out of college, was arrested for indecent exposure, disorderly conduct.
The funny thing is he always had an excuse about it to his father where he got caught for indecent exposure at the fair. Oh, no, I was just peeing. I didn't know anybody was watching. He always had a freaking funny excuse, bro.
Fondling a 13-year-old boy. Tragically, one of his murder victims would be that boy's brother.
Do you know what started it? Was there any kind of incident that you can remember?
To this day, I don't know what started it. And the person to blame is sitting right across from you. That's the only person. Not parents, not society, not pornography, I mean, those are just excuses.
He's taking accountability for his actions, though. He's admitting, like, yo, I can't blame it on my parents. And the father seemed like he really cared for his son, you know, even though he showed him the taxidermy shit as a kid. He just wanted to connect with his child, you know. He tried. I can't really blame the dad. You can't blame nobody, bro. You know what I could blame? Satan, bro. I blame the devil, bro. Because if you don't believe in him or not, that's neither here nor there. I believe he exists. There is true evil in this world that's responsible for all the bad things we see. And I believe he was just a puppet of the devil, bro. Gotta be.
His macabre 13-year crime spree finally ended when this man, Tracy Edwards, brought the police to the infamous apartment.
You're a hero,
like
Tracy.
The others, he had gone there with the promise of money.
He was listening to my heart because at a point he told me he was going to eat my heart at that point. I hit him and I ran.
What was the turning point for you? That
Glad
made
you fought back.
Realized that you had done something terribly wrong, something you should be sorry for.
When the cuffs went on his wrist.
The night of the arrest. I have no memory of what
He realized he was wrong when them cuffs went on his wrist, like I just said, bro.
happened during the 6 hours before the last victim ran out of the apartment. I heard a knock on the door, and the police were there with the last victim. They asked me where the key was to the handcuffs. My mind was in a haze. I sort of pointed to the bedroom, and that's where they found the pictures. And they yelled, "Cuff him." And I was handcuffed, and it was...
He probably wanted to get caught, bro, because he could have hid them pictures if he wanted to. He didn't have to let them in. Do you have a search warrant? No, you can't come in my house. And then he could have got rid of all the evidence. But like he said, his mind's in a haze. He probably just felt like he was tired or, you know, he was, I don't know.
It's just the realization
I'm not going to speak for him, bro.
There was no point in trying to hide my actions anymore. The best route was to help the police identify all the victims and just make a complete confession.
When it was revealed that most of the victims were black or homosexual, people in Milwaukee were incensed. Many felt that was why he went after them and why the police didn't seem to care when their families reported them missing.
10 of your 17 victims were black.
Damn.
Were they racially motivated?
It was not racially motivated. It was not sexual preference. It was just to find an obsession with the best-looking young man I could find.
While you just heard him say that his sexual preference had nothing to do with the killings, he has not come to terms with his homosexuality.
Never understood it. There was no use trying to fight it because I couldn't rid myself of it. It was too powerful and persistent.
Do you dislike it?
Yes, it's caused a lot of problems for me. A lot of conflicts and unanswered questions.
The conflicts remain with him, and so do his compulsions. But in prison, he finally cannot act on his savage.
The one thing I think about is like, yo, what if he never went down this route? What if he wasn't a serial killer? What would he have become? He probably would have been a doctor because he was into like, you know, taxidermy, and he was a medic in the army. You know, Dr. Dahmer. Like, it just has a doctor sound. He would have probably been a doctor, bro. He looked like it too. Looked a little fucking crazy, but you know, it always, you know, fascinates me. Like, yo, what would these people have become have they not went down that path?
Desires.
If you were out on the street now, would you still be committing the crimes?
Probably. If this hadn't happened,
Yes.
There's no doubt I probably would be. I can't think of anything that would have stopped me.
All right, man, that was Inside the Mind of Jeffrey Dahmer. Just crazy, bro, how he just speaks so calm. Seems normal, right? But you never know, bro. The people that seem like they're the most normal can just be more crazier than you even know. Like I said, never judge a book by its cover. And with that being said, man, I wish I would have did a reaction to the series. But like I said, I was watching it with my girl. We still got to finish it. We got 3 more episodes left. I think we watched episode 6 already. So we got 4 more episodes left to watch it. And I know there's a movie called My Friend Dahmer. So I may do a reaction to that if you want. October's around the corner. We're going to start doing more true crime reactions and stories like this. So if you guys is interested in that, y'all could send me some requests. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget, hit the like button and subscribe. It's your boy Dollars. I'ma holla.
For my time goes by, they gon' raise a nigga jersey in the sky. Treat a nigga right, big dreaming on my life. Shorty wanna get some air, I go and get her when I fly. Taking off on these niggas I retire. The minute I catch fire, I smoked them all before, just revisiting the high.